Yo, what's up guys? Mike Red Fox. In this video, we're going to set up a Flux node. Let's get rolling right now. So I'm in my computer here. I have Zelcore open. It's what I use to save a lot of my cryptocurrencies. And I'm going to walk through getting this node set up. It'll be my second node that I'll get up and running. So one thing I need to do is host this node at a VPS, virtual private server, because I don't have the required bandwidth or required hardware to run this at my house. So once you get some of these higher tier nodes, you're going to want to run them on a VPS. So I'm over on hostnodes.online. That's where I have my other node hosted right now. I'm not associated with them, but if you're from host nodes watching this, hit me up. So I'm going to do a Nimbus node. So I'm going to hit deploy. You can see that I have some slots available. And what I'm going to do is a 182-day plan for now to half a year. So I have to send some Flux over to create this node. So I'm going to do that in a second. The first thing I want to do is send my actual transaction for the required collateral, which is 12,500 Flux, over to my nodes wallet here. So what I'm going to do is come over to my Flux that I have here, and I'm going to send that required Flux over to my node wallet. I have another node running in there, but you can have multiple nodes in the same wallet. And actually, it's probably better to do that for when you're claiming parallel assets and all that stuff. But you have to send the exact amount, and then Zelcore will be smart enough to know that you have a node available. So I'm going to send that 12,500. And where I'm going to send that is over to my nodes wallet. And I'm going to make sure I have that collateral right. Flux dashboard here. There it is. Nimbus 12,500 Flux. So I'm doing the right thing, sending that amount over to the wallet I own, which is called Nodes. And I'm just going to make that a fast transaction so we can get that going. I'm going to hit send right now. Came over to my Nodes wallet now, and I can see that transaction just came through right here. And what I'm going to do now is head over to the apps section of Zelcore and go over to Flux nodes. And you can see my current running node right there confirmed already. That's the one I've been running for a while. And then since Zelcore rules, it automatically saw that collateral come in and put me a Nimbus node right here. So the thing I do have to wait for, and we'll have to pause the video, is I need to wait for 100 confirmations to come through before we can continue to the getting this node started. But in the meantime, what I can do is send the collateral needed over to host nodes online in order to pay for hosting. So let's do that right now. I'm going to go back over to my payments for Flux, and I want to send a payment, and I'm going to send it over to this address that Flux, host nodes has provided. So I'm going to paste that in to where I want to send it, and then I'm going to send this exact amount. There's 202.442 Flux. So I'm going to copy that over, and I'm going to send that right into here, which winds up being 163.47 US dollars. I want to make that a fast transaction. Double check I have everything right. I have the address right. Just checking the beginning characters, checking the end characters in that address. Get sure I got my amount right, 202.442 Flux. And I'm going to send that over for my new Nimbus node that's going to be hosted there. So I'm going to hit send right now. Over on host nodes, and you can see my payment is pending. So we're just going to wait for that to refresh and lock in. Payment has gone through. So back over on host nodes, you can see my new Nimbus node is right here. I'm going to hit start on the status, and it's asking me to fill out some information, which I'm going to be able to get from Zelcore. So the first thing I need is the identity key. So if I come over to my Flux node here, I can hit edit on that new Nimbus node, and I can grab the identity key and copy, paste that in, collateral transaction ID. I'm going to do the same thing. Paste that right in. Insert output index is 0. And then I need to go find my Zel ID. So I'm going to cancel out of this, go over to apps, go over to Zel ID, and then I can copy my Zel ID to the clipboard and paste that right in here. I'm also going to go get my KD address that I'm going to use as well. So I'm going to come into Zelcore, go to payments, go over to Cadena, and then I'm going to copy that address in. How am I going to do that? Receive, account, copy that in, and I'm going to paste that address right in here. So I can hit start node. All right, so I have my node up on the dashboard. You can see it passed benchmarks. There are some other steps I need to take, so I'm going to do that right now. All right, node is on the dashboard now. You can see it passed benchmarks, but I need to do a couple more steps in Zelcore. So if I go back over there and I head back over to apps, Flux nodes, over to my Nimbus node, I'm going to hit edit again. I need to give this thing a name. I'm just going to call it Nimbus, keep it nice and easy. I only have one of them. So I'm going to type that in, and then I need to get the IP address from host nodes, which I'm going to do if I click on Nimbus here. I'm going to copy in the IP address, close that out, paste that right into Zelcore, hit save. And now what I need to do is wait, because I need to get to the 100 confirmation. So once I get to there, I'll be back. All right, confirmation is 114. So now I have this button to hit start. So let me go ahead and start this Nimbus node. You're about to start a Flux node. Please press start. We suggest you confirm your Flux node is running well and that it is passing benchmarks. It is. We saw that back over on host nodes. Benchmarks have passed, status is online, and it's connected to the Flux network. So all we got to do right now is hit that start button and let's go. So status is starting. The transaction to start your Flux node Nimbus was sent successfully. It will take 1 block to be mined for your Flux node status to change. Started, and 1 to 10 blocks, about 20 minutes to get confirmed. Confirm is the final status. So we'll check back in a little bit once we get to confirmed, and then I'll talk about Flux nodes from there. After about 10 minutes, node status changed to confirm for my new Nimbus node. You can see that right there in Zelcore. And as I go over to host nodes, you can see status also changed to confirmed here. It took about 30 seconds later. It's also going to be some additional information like when my next reward is going to be. That's when the next payout from Flux is going to hit my wallet. If I go over to the Flux OS dashboard, we'll get a sense of what I'll be making on Nimbus. So as it all averages out per day, which will be about 3.02 Flux. And then what I'm going to look at is per month, about 92 Flux and then 64 Flux tokens, which are parallel assets, which is essentially Flux that you can claim from side chains on other networks. So I'm going to count that as Flux as well. So with the price of Flux right now, as I'm making this video, 81 cents, I'll be taking home about $126. And if you remember, I had to pay, what was it, a little over 200 Flux for hosting on the VPS, which means with this amount that I'll be taking home, say 150 Flux in under 2 months, I'll have broken even or ROI'd on the VPS, and everything after that. So a little over, well, let's say 4.5 months is going to be all profit that I'm taking in running this node. And so this Nimbus node is going to join the Stratus node I already have running, and I'll just be continuing to accumulate Flux as time goes on. Now, the one thing that is really exciting to me is as I continue to accumulate Flux, getting paid out from running both of these nodes, and of course, you can also mine Flux if it's profitable for you. It's tough right now because profits are way down across the board. But as you accumulate more Flux from nodes or from mining, you can take that Flux and put it to work in running another node. So a Cumulus node is another tier of node that they have, along with some other ones that are even smaller collateral that you need. And just for example here, Cumulus is 1,000 Flux, and I'll be able to run that. So even after maybe a few months of Stratus rewards and Nimbus rewards, I can stand up a Cumulus node and have that bringing in rewards too. And like the goal here, especially during these times of low profitability, maybe bear market, whatever you want to use, but the goal is to just accumulate as much coin as you can, in this case, as much Flux as I can, so that when the time comes, fingers crossed, and the prices of all these cryptocurrencies go up, I'll be sitting in a really great place. So this is one way that I'm continuing to do that, by running nodes on the Flux network. Big fan of the project. Have mined it since February 2018. Really grateful for that. But hope this video gave you some insight into running a Flux node. If you are running one, if you have mined it, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Please let me know what tier node you're running. What cards do you have mining Flux? Why do you like Flux? Flux, Flux, Flux. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like button if you did. Sub to the channel for more content on cryptocurrency at this point, since mining is what it is. Discord, social media links down in the description below, and always take care of yourself and each other. See you in the next video.